Let's hear it for your San Antonio Spurs. 6'8", at forward, number 10, Jeremy Sohan. 6'5" forward, number 24, Devin Vassell. 7'3", at center, number 1, Victor Wembanyama.
Hello from 2K Sports. We're honoring diversity and culture tonight with the NBA celebration of Noche Latina, along with Grant Hill and Richard Jefferson. This is Brian Anderson, and we've got our reporter, Allie LaForce. Let's take a look at the numbers for him.
And over the last 5 games, his field goal percentage has increased. And you can make a case his confidence as well because of this.
A look at the starting group for the Pelicans. They've got DeJounte Murray, Clint Capella out there with Zion Williamson. Then there's Trey Murphy, and it's LeVert in at the 2-guard. And for San Antonio, Sohan and Wemby are the bigs. Vassell and Johnson are the 2 and the 3, and it's Jones in at the 1 spot. We should see some great ball movement with these two teams, Grant. Fantastic group of passers on each side.
They're just so unselfish. They play for one another. You can see how it keeps the whole team involved. And I'll tell you what, I just love watching teams that can pass like this.
Tie game in San Antonio. And time now for the halftime break with the third quarter soon to follow on 2K Sports.
That's the end of the first half with the score. Your Spurs, 57. The Pelicans, 57. Fans, please direct your attention to center court and get ready for the fan headcourt shot. Drums, please. They're measuring up the shot.
And in that first half, we saw a pretty tight battle. We'll soon find out what sort of adjustments were discussed during halftime. You know, DeJounte Murray has been exceptional here, guys.
You just love his patience offensively in the first half. Waited until he got the looks he wanted.
You love guys who can get their shots within the flow of the offense.
And as we get into this third quarter, as we've seen so far, neither team able to... And for the Spurs. 41 seconds left in the game. Pass to Castle. Three-pointer. Hits a three-pointer.
They got a big lift from their crowd tonight, giving them the energy they needed.
You have to love their effort. This game wasn't handed to them. They took it.
Johnson passes to Tatum. The 3. The shot that time not on target. And so it's San Antonio with it. It's a 22-point lead, the most they've led by. And so it's San Antonio easily grabbing this one. Boy, they were something special to watch tonight, and the crowd loving every second of it.
It's always a great feeling when you play this well for your fans. This team really showed what it's capable of.
And that about wraps it up. For Allie LaForce, Grant Hill, and Richard Jefferson, this is Brian Anderson, thanking you for watching the NBA, presented by 2K Sports. So long, everyone.
Welcome to 2K Sports Live Saturday night coverage of the NBA. Thanks for tuning in. This is Kevin Harlan along with Greg Anthony and Brent Beard. David Aldridge will be reporting from the sideline. Let's quickly take a look at the standings out west. The season nearly complete. You look at the Spurs. They're 10th in the conference, still looking to claim a spot for the playoffs. And, of course, Los Angeles, down 4 spots from them.
And, you know, for the Spurs, they've shown me some very good things this season. But that next step, those qualities that could make them true contenders, just haven't been there.
Now, you just don't want to sit in the middle for too long. You either want to be competing against the top teams or starting to strategize where you can position yourself for a high lottery pick and maybe turn around your franchise's fortunes.
And the starting group for the Spurs. Zohan is the 4 with the lengthy Wemby playing the 5. The guard pair are Jones and Vassell. And it's Johnson in at the small forward. And for Los Angeles, we've got Randall. Also, Ivica Zubac's out there. Brett, would you say the point guard is considered the toughest position to play in basketball?
You know, Kevin, I think there's been a massive shift in what the point guard represents in the NBA game. I mean, how many teams over the past couple years that have won championships have played with a traditional setup guard? What we're looking at is duos that can dribble, pass, and shoot and devastate defenses. This is a rough stretch right here for him offensively. Seems to be rushing shots.
On the court right now for the Spurs, Zohan is the 4 with the lengthy Wembenyama playing the 5. Castle is out there with Baldwin. It's stolen. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. It's going to go on Norman Powell.
Yeah, easy call.
The Spurs shoot their 6th and 7th free throw attempts tonight.
And they shot the ball well this season in terms of their attempts, 81%.
Brent, when you talk about the Clippers franchise, and you appreciate this so much, their first superstar was really Bob McAdoo.
And what a tremendous talent. You know, most people remember Bob McAdoo with his years with the Lakers. But, man, when he was with the Buffalo Braves, 3 straight scoring titles, was the league MVP in 1975. Sorry, Dad. Some people still consider him the club's best player ever.
Pass to Baldwin. There's the triple. Now in the scoring column with that bucket. 1 for 2 this game.
Both teams running perimeter-oriented plays that are working.
Well, both of them looking towards the three-point line, and I like to see that, especially when the results are made buckets.
Leonard kicks to Zubac, and the foul called on Victor Wembanyama. That is his first foul of the game.
4th team foul.
And so it's Victor Wembanyama making things happen for the Spurs. He notched 8 points in the quarter and has that terrific basketball instinct on display. And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thanks, Kevin. Kawhi, you have grown so much offensively throughout your career. What's the focus of that end of the floor?
Just knocking down open shots, my ball handling, making good decisions off the pick and roll, and just try to limit my turnovers.
And you've done well so far, Kawhi. Thanks. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David. And we'll be back for the 3rd quarter of action following halftime.
Halftime is here, and with the San Antonio Spurs in a neck-and-neck game, lots to talk about.
Their approach has been pretty straightforward. Attack, draw fouls, and you can see their enthusiasm. They're pumped up there, Ernie.
Yeah, playing with a high level of activity here. Let's see if they can maintain that, though. And next up on the docket, a look at some upcoming games. For the Celtics, they'll be up against the Heat in Miami. That gets going at 6 p.m. Eastern.
This is going to be either a lopsided game or a terrific upset.
Thanks for spending halftime with us. Time to get it back out to Kevin Harlan for the start of the third quarter.
We've got second half action for you, and if the next couple quarters are similar to the first, this one could go down to the last possession. We're seeing a tremendous game from Victor Wembanyama.
In those first two quarters, he was pretty much an automatic bucket getter if he got it down low on the block.
Yeah, we'll see if the double teams start to come here in the second half to make them adjust offensively, but he's going to keep going at it.
And as we get into this third quarter, as we've seen so far, neither team able to... And so it's San Antonio easily taking this one. A resounding victory for them. And Greg in enemy territory, no less.
That's exactly right. But with the way they control the game and just completely took the crowd out of it, that's how to get it done on the road.
Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now. For Greg Anthony, Brett Barry, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching the NBA, presented by 2K Sports. We'll see you next time. Have a great evening.
And preparing for battle, each guy with his own approach to getting ready for what should be an excellent matchup. Hola and welcome to Noche Latina, an NBA celebration of Latin heritage. We're proud to bring it to you here at 2K Sports. Along with Stan Van Gundy and Hall of Famer Grant Hill, I'm Brian Anderson. Allie LaForce will be with us courtside. And let's take a look now at some numbers for him.
He's been really dialed in from deep during these last 5 games, looking assertive and in control every time he rises up to shoot from beyond the three-point line, and it's been fun to watch.
Let's take a look at our starters for the Golden State Warriors. Curry and Hield to the sharpshooting backcourt. Wiggins and Green hold down the forward spots. And it's Looney in at the center position. And for the Spurs, Sohan and Wemby are the bigs. Vassell and Johnson are the 2 and the 3. And it's Jones in at point guard. The season winding down here, Grant. Playoff seedings of the utmost importance.
You know, B.A., you especially see the bubble teams giving that extra effort now. It's all hands on deck. Very little room for error.
Tie game in San Antonio. And join us right back here after the break for the start of the second half.
67. The Warriors. 67.
And we've got second half action for you. Thus far, a pretty evenly contested game. You got to like what we're seeing from Brandon Podziemski.
And the bulk of his production has been generated along the perimeter.
And defensively, they're giving him too many good looks out there. They need to start running him off the line.
And so the Warriors take the win. And they barely squeezed out the win here on the road.
And B.A., the visiting team is always under some added pressure, but they made it work and got the win, whatever the margin may have been.
And that'll do it, folks. With Grant Hill, Stan Van Gundy, and Allie LaForce, this is Brian Anderson saying thanks for watching the NBA on 2K Sports. We'll see you later.
We hope you're wearing the green today on this special presentation of the NBA on St. Patrick's Day. Kevin Harlan with you, joined by Doris Bird, Craig Anthony, and David Aldridge reporting courtside. And for a look at how the competition stacks up right now, here's the latest edition of the Power Rankings. They tell a great story. Taking a look at New York, they've achieved some upward momentum, climbing to the 5th spot on the board.
And you know, for the Spurs, they've gotten into a bit of a rut. The season hasn't gone as they had hoped. You just get the feeling that they're somewhat discouraged right now, and that has them with an inability to break through.
And the starting group for the Spurs, Sohan is the 4 with the lengthy Wembenyama playing the 5. The guard pair are Jones and Vassell, and it's Johnson in at the 3 spot. And for the Thunder, the 4 and the 5, the lengthy pair of Holmgren and Hartenstein. Gilgeous-Alexander out there with Matisse Thybulle. And it's Walker in at the 3, the small forward. Here we go. And you think about the future of this great league. Certainly, Greg, some terrific young talent on display here tonight.
Yeah, and Kevin.
And some good action through the first 2 quarters as we reach halftime. In San Antonio, they're up by 1. And we'll be back for the second half following the break. Keep it right here on 2K Sports. And it's good to have you back with us as we celebrate St. Patrick's Day with more NBA action on 2K Sports. Guys, a fantastic game from Obi Toppin in this one.
You just love the patience in that first half. Waited until he got the look that he wanted.
You know, as a coach, you can preach good shot selection, but it's up to the players to execute, and this guy has done just that.
And we're halfway through this one. Plenty of basketball left in a game that's been fairly even. So no problem for Oklahoma City as they get the win. Some good moments throughout this one, but they had the clear advantage down the stretch.
Yeah, I mean, I love the way they executed on both ends of the floor. Completely under control for the vast majority of the game. And whenever there was a misstep, they just didn't allow it to fester. And that's why they're going to walk away with the win.
And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Alden, this is Kevin Harlan along with our terrific 2K Sports crew, thanking you for tuning in. We'll see you next time.
On the floor for the visiting Detroit Pistons. At forward, Izat Almansa. At guard, Jaden Ivey. At center, Jalen Duran. At forward, Asar Thompson. At guard, Cade Cunningham. The head coach of the visiting team is Willie Green. Let's meet the starters for your San Antonio Spurs. At forward, number 0, Keldon Johnson. Forward, number 24, Devin Vassell. At forward, number 10, Jeremy Sohan. 6'1" guard, number 33, Trey Jones. Starting at center, number 1, Victor Wembanyama.
It's a very special day on the calendar, Noche Latina, commemorating the NBA's connection to Latin heritage and culture. I'm Brian Anderson, and joining me at the table, Richard Jefferson and Grant Hill. We've also got Allie LaForce bringing us reports. And a chance here to check out some stats for Cade Cunningham.
Effective field goal percentage is a great way to measure his performance over the previous 10 games. It's been much improved, a sign that his game has been evolving.
Now let's check out the starters for the Detroit Pistons. Cunningham and Ivey work together as the backcourt. Then there's Jalen Duren, then it's Thompson, and for the Spurs, Sohan and Wemby are the bigs. Vassell and Johnson are the 2 and the 3, and it's Jones in at the 1. As we get closer to the end of the regular season, Richard, what would you say to the lottery teams right now?
To either bottom out completely and focus on your young guys, or do everything possible to make a run and get into that play-in tournament, because there's valuable experience to be had there.
And it's going to be the Spurs off the tip. And a pretty tightly contested game here as we end the first half. The Pistons on top, up 1. And we'll step away briefly, but get you right back out there for the start of the third quarter, right after the break. And after a fairly even first couple of quarters, this second half could turn out to be a great one, as both teams trying to gain an edge. So it's Detroit picking up the win. They have to feel good about this performance. It's one they can be proud of.
Very true. I mean, when you're out on the road, the wins can feel a little sweeter. This one has to feel extra special.
Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. For Richard Jefferson, Grant Hill, and Allie LaForce, this is Brian Anderson saying thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Have a great evening.
Good evening and welcome to tonight's presentation of Noche La NBA, an annual tradition in the NBA, celebrating diversity and culture, and always a pleasure to bring it to you. Tonight, we'll see the San Antonio Spurs as they play against the Indiana Pacers. This is Kevin Harlan with Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg and our sideline reporter, David Aldridge. With 10 games left, let's see how the playoff race is shaping up out west. You look at San Antonio, it's been a rough season for them. The good news is the lottery is only a couple months away. Let's check out Indiana's starting lineup. The forward spots with Nesmith and Siakam. T.J. McConnell is out there with Nembhard. And it's Wiseman in at the 5 spot. And for San Antonio, Sohan is the 4 with the lengthy Wembenyama playing the 5. The guard pair are Jones and Vassell. And it's Johnson in at the 3. For those teams, Clark, still in the running for a playoff spot, how do they close out strong?
Well, they just continue to do what they've been doing. That's what good teams do. They focus on the task at hand, and then when it really counts.
And so it's the Indiana Pacers with a 6-point lead at the end of the quarter. They've been playing some ferocious defense. And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thanks, Kevin. Coach, what happened defensively that slowed them down in the first half?
Well, we're active. They're missing a few shots they normally make. You know, we just got to compete. We got to keep competing the way we are.
Thanks for your time, Rick. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, thank you. We'll be back after halftime for the start of the third quarter.
Fans, please direct your attention to center court and get ready for the fan half-court shot. Give me a beat. They're thinking about the shot. Oh, better luck next time. Let's hear it for the participants.
Second half of basketball upon us. We may be in for an exciting finish based on how close of a game that's been so far. Nice game. Great performance by Benedict Mathurin.
Man, he's been running wild on him through that first half. Absolute dynamite on offense.
And you know what? I'll be interested to see just how much he's got left in the tank.
And so it's San Antonio who's scraped by with the win. What a show they put on here at home tonight.
I mean, these are those games that feel so great to win, and really, it's like a knife in the gut to lose. You gotta love being on edge of your seat and just wondering what's gonna happen. How is this thing gonna play out?
And that'll wrap it up, folks. For Clark Kellogg, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan along with our terrific 2K Sports crew, thanking you for tuning in. So long, everyone.
Greetings, folks. Thanks for tuning in to 2K Sports for our latest presentation of NBA basketball. Two slam dunk champs, Grant Hill and Brent Barry, our analysts tonight. Brian Anderson here. We'll hear from Allie LaForce as well. Let's see some of the numbers here for Bobby Portis.
When you look at his true shooting percentage, it's really been impressive over the last 10 games. He's playing to his strengths, taking smart shots, and we'll see if he can keep this momentum going.
All right, let's check out San Antonio's starting lineup. Sohan and Wemby are the bigs. Jones and Vassell are the 1 and the 2. And it's Johnson in at the 3, the small forward. And for the Bucks, inside we have Giannis and Lopez. Jackson out there with Damian Lillard. And it's Middleton in at the 3. Well, Grant, we're deep into the season now. For teams who will miss the playoffs, where are their heads at, you think?
Well, B.A., first of all, it's a chance for some of the others to show out. Their focus should be on finishing strong, and realistically, you start planning for the offseason.
And the first half comes to a conclusion in a game that's been very close so far. San Antonio on top. They're up by 3. And we'll be back for the second half following the break. Keep it right here on 2K Sports. In that first half, we saw a pretty tight battle. We'll soon find out what sort of adjustments were discussed during halftime. Ooh, it's been quite a game for Lonnie Walker.
Yeah, he played such a smart first half, maximizing his opportunities offensively.
Yeah, I'm thinking back to the first half and wondering, did he take a low percentage shot? Everything efficient.
And as we get into this third quarter, as we've seen so far, neither team able to So we see the Spurs taking the W here. Boy, a nice win on the road. By the time this one was winding down, this building was stone cold silent.
And that's exactly what you got to do. You have to try to take the crowd out of it.
And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. For Brent Baring, Grant Hill, and Allie LaForce, this is Brian Anderson. Thank you for watching this 2K Sports presentation of the NBA. So long, everyone.
Deep in the heart of Texas, San Antonio, the scene for the Rockets. He's 6'8" with a 7'2" wingspan. Tari Eason has all the makings of a defensive stopper, and they'll need him to lock it up as they prepare for their contest against the Spurs. Rockets, Spurs, and we'll be right back for the tip. Welcome, everyone, to Noche Enabia. A Latin theme is the backdrop to tonight's festivities. I'm Kevin Harlan. With me tonight, Greg Anthony and Coach Stan Van Gundy. And on the sideline, our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge. Let's check out the standings in the Western Conference and see how the playoff race is shaping up. You look at the Rockets. If the playoffs started today, they'd hold the number 5 seed. Of course, they're looking to build on that. And, of course, San Antonio, sitting there 4 spots below.
Yeah, right now, though, the Rockets, this season it's been solid. But they just need to maintain their place in the standings and get 100% prepared here for the postseason.
Well, look, they've performed to expectations. But I think this team can take it to another level if they get rolling.
And the Houston Rockets starting 5. The post pair form, it'll be Smith and Şengün. Shepherd out there with Jalen Green. And it's Ingram, and at the 3, the small forward. And for the Spurs, Sohan is the 4 with the lengthy Tari Eason's checked in for the Rockets. Thompson comes in for Jalen Green. And a big part of perimeter defense, Greg, avoiding screens. What are some of the tricks of the trade in that regard?
Well, sometimes you have to get skinny. I mean, other times it's using your strength. A lot goes into it. Also, getting a cadence for the screener. It's one of the more challenging aspects of NBA defense.
And they're hitting the long-range shots that they were missing in the first quarter, but still have ground to make up.
Sohan is the 4 with the lengthy Wembenyama playing the 5. Castle is out there with Baldwin. That's the San Antonio 5. We've exported so much, and so it's San Antonio with a 10-point lead. Some breathing room heading into the break. They're feeling very confident, shooting the ball with great efficiency and dictating the pace. We'll take a quick break and then back to the action here. we've got third quarter of basketball for you. 2 quarters in the books. Nice game. Great performance by Devin Vassell.
Yeah, it's been a great performance from him. Really staying focused on quality shots.
Yeah, he's found his spots, been patient with his shot selection.
So San Antonio goes with a fresh 5 on the floor. And so in the game for the Rockets, Tari Easton is out there with Alperen Şengün. Then there's Shepard. Then there's Amen Thompson. There's a screen by Collins. Baldwin the pass to Collins. 6 on the shot clock. Barnes outside. This one for 3. Hits the three-point bomb.
If you came to watch a scoring battle, you're in the right place.
Yeah, and how great have these offenses been for these teams tonight? Just fantastic execution.
Shepard the pass to Şengün. The shot that time, not on target. Collins with some nice D. Pass to Baldwin. Plenty of space. It's rebounded by Houston. Their biggest lead of the game was 9. They'll be playing host to Miami for the next game. That game will be a quick pit stop before hitting the road again. And the rejection by Collins. Here's the break. Stolen by Thompson. Now Eason. Fires for 3. Şengün. And Şengün is right there. Şengün's got 10 points here in the second half.
Not giving up on the play. Şengün locked in.
Here's Castle. Baldwin looking for the opening. Barnes the screen. It'll go. The Rocket lead is cut down now to just 3 on the bucket from Baldwin.
And that was the right call. When you need a basket, go to the guys you trust the most.
Yeah, he got a good look, and he calmly delivered for them. That's what you like to see.
Shepard the pass to Thompson. And he gets the bucket.
It helps that Thompson can score with either hand close to the bucket. Defenders can't force him to one side or the other.
There's a screen by Collins. Here's Baldwin. Out to the right wing. Here's McNeely. His three-pointer's off the mark.
And you don't want to give up that kind of look too often.
The shot by Thompson, no good.
That's a defender doing just enough to cause a miss on the layup.
Here's Baldwin, and he banks in the layup.
And giving up some inches inside, but makes up for it with an aggressive stop.
Yeah, you got to love that kind of effort. Getting in there and fighting through the defense.
Here's Shepard. Bangs home the trifecta. Shepard's got 22.
Well, those go down for him in his sleep.
Here's Baldwin. There's a screen by Collins. Over to the left wing. Here's Baldwin. Front past the arc. It's rebounded by Şengün. Şengün's got his 6th rebound on the night. Eason. And the layup falls. And now it's an 8-point Rocket lead.
Yeah, I'd call this ideal scoring distance. It's almost too easy.
And we've got a timeout from Greg Popovich. Wants to make sure everybody's coordinated and intent. And the latest now from our sideline reporter, David Aldridge. David, it's all yours. Take it away. And so it's a narrow victory for Houston, pulling it out for the double. They break the hearts of every fan in the building with a dramatic late victory.
And Kevin, this is the kind of win you have to take a ton of pride in. I mean, they battled with everything they had and came through when the pressure was at its highest.
And that about wraps it up. So for Stan Van Gundy, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thank you for watching the NBA, presented by 2K Sports. See you later.
Happy to have you here for a midweek edition of the NBA on 2K Sports. This should be an intriguing contest. This is Brian Anderson. With me, Richard Jefferson and Grant Hill. And reporting courtside, it's Allie LaForce. All right, a chance to check out stats for Victor Wembanyama.
And he's had a rough past 5 games. He's had trouble finding his offensive rhythm and just hasn't been as effective as he'd like to be on that end. But this is something all players go through, and I'm sure he'll fight his way back.
Here's the starting group for the San Antonio Spurs. Sohan and Wemby are the bigs. Jones and Vassell are the 1 and the 2. And it's Johnson in at the small forward position. And for the Hawks, Bogdanovich and Riza Shea, the wingmen. Then it's Trae Young. Then there's Onyeka Okongwu. And it's Murray Boyles in at the 4. You know, in game 2 of a back-to-back, just how drained are you from yesterday as a player?
You know, B.A., proper rest and stretching can help a lot. But you're not going to be your usual self at the start of game time. Believe that.
And so that brings the first half to a close. Spurs out in front, up 10. And we'll be right back after halftime for the start of the third quarter. See you in just a bit.
52. Spurs 62.
Happy you could join us. We've got 2 quarters left to go in regulation. We're seeing a tremendous game from Trae Young.
He's been so disruptive defensively in the first half. His fast hands pick plenty of pockets.
Not only does he have solid defensive instincts, he just plays extremely hard. And I know people might not realize this, but that is a skill, and it is very difficult for the opposition. It is a recipe for disaster.
And if you just join it in, 1 half is in the books, 1 half to go. So we see the Spurs taking the W here. Exceptional effort on the road. They were ready and they were focused.
Focused indeed. I mean, it takes a strong mental approach to block out the distractions. These guys stepped up 100%.
And that'll wrap it up, folks. For Grant Hill, Richard Jefferson, and Allie LaForce, this is Brian Anderson thanking you for watching the NBA, presented by 2K Sports. We'll see you next time.
Hello and thanks for joining us on Noche La NBA, the NBA celebration of Latin heritage, both among its players and fans. With Greg Anthony and Hall of Famer Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan. And joining us on the sidelines, another Hall of Famer, David Aldridge. A chance now to check out the race for Rookie of the Year. Always exciting to see the promise of the youngsters, a season under the belts. Who took the league by storm? You know, there have been moments for him this year, but overall, it just doesn't look like he'll finish near the top of the list.
And I thought at one point he may make a move up those rankings, but he's just never took that next step forward.
Well, there are a lot of good rookies this season, and he's had trouble keeping pace. But to me, there's no reason to think he won't continue to improve next year.
And the Clippers starting five. The veteran wings, Powell and Leonard. Julius Randle is out there with Ivica Zubac. And it's Montero in at the one. And for the Spurs, Zohan is the four with the lengthy Wembenyama playing the five. The guard pair are Jones and Vassell. And it's Johnson. So that'll be it for the first half. Fairly even battle underway in this one. Clippers ahead, up by 2. And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
56. Thanks, Kevin. Here with Coach Teron Lou. Coach, what is the focus going to be in the second half?
Just play the right way. Move the ball, share the ball, get stops, and get out and run the transition.
Always leads to good results. Thanks, Teron. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, thank you. And stay with us, folks. We'll be back just after halftime to get the third quarter started.
Please direct your attention to center court and get ready for the fan half-court shot. Drum roll, please. They're measuring up the shot. One more time, a round of applause for the participants.
And in that first half, we saw a pretty tight battle. We'll soon find out what sort of adjustments were discussed during the half. You know, Doris, assists aren't just a point guard stat any longer, are they? A lot of big men in the league. And so it's San Antonio with the win. Probably a little closer than they would have liked it, but a win nonetheless.
Yeah, but I really got the sense that the fans gave them that emotional boost that was needed down the stretch. This crowd, man, they were electric.
And that'll wrap it up, folks. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, and the rest of our terrific crew, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Have a great evening.